Hi there, Darla Delane, founder of She CEO. Super happy to be here today to talk with you. Today, I want to discuss clarity. So, clarity is this awesome word, and that we use for a lot of different purposes and uses, which I found as I started journaling on it and kind of really looking into it. So, first, let's just talk about what is clarity. So when someone says, I want clarity, what are they wanting? Well, they want to be sure, right? They want to know. They want to really know. They want to feel certain. Certainty, clarity, kind of the same. Certainty comes from being clear on what you want. It's basically making a decision, right? So I have clarity on what my decision is, meaning I am totally sure, I really know, I'm clear on this, I'm certain this is what it is. This is what this means. This is what this going to happen. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to think. I have real clarity on that. Clarity is it is a whole nother level of empowerment, isn't it? Like, when I have clarity, I can go, I can get started, I can take action. When I have clarity, no one is going to tip me over one way or another about what I'm thinking or feeling, right? It is so empowered. It is such a powerful word, but it's also very, very calm. There's a calmness in clarity in there. It's like this peacefulness of knowing is clarity. Okay, so that's what it is. Now, why do we want it? Like, why do you need clarity? Why can't you get moving without clarity? Why can't you go do things without clarity? Why can't you move forward in relationships without clarity? Why do you really want it? The reason you want it is when you think about what we just said it's being sure, it's knowing, it's a decision. When you don't have clarity, you are in indecision. You are not sure. You don't know. You feel very unstable, right? You don't feel secure. And it's like someone could tip you one way or another, and you don't have a full sense of yourself. You don't have a full sense of who you are and what you want. And that doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. We want clarity because when we have clarity, we are who we are. We're super clear on who we are. We know we're in touch and in tune with who we are. When we don't have clarity, we are detached from who we really are. And I'll tell you why. Because clarity comes from you already knowing something and listening to yourself about what you already know. You already always know the answer. You're always clear. You always know. What we don't do is listen to ourselves. And so we stay in this place of indecision, and indecision is a place of suffering. It's a place of pain. It's uncomfortable. It is because it is not you. It's not who you really are. Who you really are is someone that's very clear on their worth. They're very clear on what they want. They're very clear. When you have a decision between two things that either one are going to be great, you don't suffer on it. Your clarity is, I want this thing. Now, which color? And it's like, I could do this one or that one. And it's very light, and you're still you, and you're just kind of enjoying in it. You don't need clarity to decide between the purple and the green, right? Now, sometimes that is the question. Let's say you're painting a room and you go in and say, oh, what color do I want in here? You know what you want it to feel like. You have an essence, a sense of what you really want that room to look like, right? And as you're looking at the colors, you really know, you are very clear on what you want. But then you start to question yourself, right? So how do you get clarity when you don't have it? And why is it we don't have it? Well, it's this very thing about questioning yourself. The reason you don't have clarity is what is in the way is you. It is false beliefs about yourself. It's your own feeling of unworthiness, of guiltiness, of, not being good enough that keeps us from doing that. When I want something and I hear it, I know the answer right then. And then I begin to waffle on which way I'm going to go on it. That doesn't feel good because I've moved away. I've disconnected from who I really am, right? I've disconnected to what I know is true. And so when this distrust of ourself is in the way, it's painful. And that's why we think we don't have clarity. It happens a lot in the industry that I'm in right now. It happens a lot when we talk about our businesses and our messaging or who we serve. And so it may be I'll talk to someone about target market. It's like, who do you really want to be helping? Oh, everybody. Well, of course, we all want to help the world. We all want to help everybody. That everyone would want that. But who specifically gets you excited? Well, there's a little bit of guilt about leaving someone out. So if I say, oh, I really want to work with women. I've had a few awesome men that I know say, why don't you work with men? I said, I didn't say I don't work with men, but my marketing is for women because I really enjoy working with women because I get to see the light go on about things that they have not accepted for themselves and because I know how to do that faster. So it's like something that I really like to do. So this whole piece about this clarity of who you work with, you know exactly who you want to work with, but sometimes you feel guilty that you're not working with everyone. Now you don't have clarity. Well, you do. You're not accepting your clarity, right? With the same thing on your messaging. It's like, well, if I don't say everything, then I might miss someone. That all comes from lack. It all comes from not knowing there's plenty. It all comes from this place of disconnection. So once again, we're not connected to ourselves, the real part of us, the soul of who we are, who we really, really are, without the influences and customs and culture and beliefs that we've thought over and over again that hide ourselves. So as we are connected to universe, source, God, this creative sense of us, this playful knowing who we really are, this empowered self, this very clear, calm, centered self, as we are connected to that, we gain clarity quickly. We just ask yourself. A lot of times when I'm coaching, this is what I do. I get my client into this space of connectedness, and then I ask them the question. They'll come to me, I just don't know. I'm not really clear. I need clarity on this. Sometimes I need clarity is a way to self-abandon. It can be a way to put it off and to procrastinate because if you get the clarity, now all of a sudden you're going to be able to move forward and start stepping into what you're doing. You're going to step into shining. You're going to step into being heard and known. And now those fears come up. So saying I don't have clarity can sometimes be a little safety catch to everybody accepts. It's one of those things that people will accept. Oh, I'll get started when I have clarity about what I really want to do. It's like, you have clarity about what you really want to do. You'll get started when you allow yourself to be you. You'll get started when you see your own worthiness. You'll get started when you're connected to yourself. The clarity piece comes up. It then comes up if you're clear on something. Let's say you have clarity around something. Let's say it's a relationship and you have real clarity that it's completed. And then you go to complete it and now you feel bad. Either you're scared of how they're going to react, or you feel bad about how you're going to hurt them, or whatever it is. And so you go back to, well, I'm not really clear that I need to be leaving. Oh, you're clear. You're totally clear that the relationship is complete, or you're totally clear that the relationship is not complete and you want to move forward in this. And now you stop yourself from moving forward because, well, I don't want to look like I'm a doormat. I don't want to look bad. I don't want to lose my self-respect. You can't lose your self-respect. You can't lose your self-respect. It's there. You can disconnect from it and forget that you have full respect of yourself and full empowerment and fully who you are. And this thing about clarity can sometimes be an excuse for us to self-sabotage, for us to abandon what we know we really want and what is really right for us. And so go back to the room. Like you've got a room you're decorating. You go in and you're like, ooh, I know I want this feel in here. I like a continuity of colors. Maybe someone that's like, I love having every room be a different color. And this room feels purple. And then somebody comes into their house and says, the house is so disjointed. And you're like, no, it's not. It's a rainbow of colors and I love it. Or do they hear, you're wrong, and they go, oh, yeah, maybe I should just do, this other color here because it matches this one. That is your intuition. It's the gut feeling. It is the knowing. Your clarity is there. It is speaking to you. And now our job is to listen. It's to listen to the intuition, to trust the feeling that comes in, to know that that is the path that's going to lead you towards what it is you want. What you want doesn't really change. What you want is what you want because you want to be happy. And you know that this particular thing right now for you is what's going to really help you be even more happy. And so you get clarity from that. And when you trust your intuition, when you trust that intuitive hit, that inspiration, that gut feeling, and directly move on it, you get closer. And it's like there's this flow of what you want with so much more ease and eagerness and in this anticipation. Now you're allowing it in, right? So clarity is always there for you. We always have clarity. What we don't always have is connection to ourselves. So to gain clarity, what do? You need to get back connected to yourself. You need to remember your own self-worth. You need to remember that nobody else does. No one else has clarity for you. You are the one that has clarity for you. I'm the only one that has clarity for me. And there have been a lot of decisions I've made in my life that I've been very clear on, and other people did not like that for whatever reason. Maybe I was going to move and they were going to miss me, or they were afraid because they wouldn't do that themselves. So when you're looking to who you have as for guidance, for who is in your ear, who it is that you talk to and you confide in and you talk about, before you do that with someone else, do it with yourself. Get connected to yourself first. Be connected to yourself. Know your worth, know your value. And now it may be great. Maybe someone has an awesome idea that was your inspiration to talk to this person, because now you're going to get an even better idea. It's not don't talk to anyone. It's don't let people sway your certainty, sway your clarity. You can have collaborators in your creativity. You can have collaborators in your creativity. You can have collaborators in the allowing of your vision to come to life for yourself. You can have collaborators in your life, people that cross paths because they got an intuitive hit and you got one and you now ended up in the same place. That's pure on miracle magic. That is like the awesomeness. But when we disconnect to the number one collaborator, that's yourself, when you disconnect to that connection to source, that's when you have let go of your ability to have your clarity. So clarity is awesome. Clarity is empowering. And now, as you're moving forward, be sure you're taking a check to make sure you're still connected and that you're not using wanting clarity as an excuse or a reason to self-sabotage or to abandon yourself. Use your clarity as your strength, because that's what it is. It is your uniqueness. It is why every single human is different. Your clarity is you. Until next time, this has been Darla Delane. See you soon.